Hello, hello, and welcome to All Your Channel's weekly news update for the week of August 10th through August 16th. We got a good chunk of content coming at you this week, but first, let's give a quick thank you to our wonderful Ko-fi supporters. Thank you so much to Candlecorn, with additional thank you to Stratos and Barbara at the 0.5 tier, and a double thank you to Atomic Squid at the double tier. Thank you. For the Ko-fi supporters, be sure to head over to the Ko-fi to partake in all of the new polls of this month that are up. And also, if you don't want to have to navigate the annoying layout of the Ko-fi website, because honestly I wish they would let us customize the appearance of our blogs there a little bit better, you can head to the Discord linked down below, and in the news tab get links straight to all of the polls and the double tier supporter polls. Also, even if you're not a Ko-fi supporter, head over there, and there's a vote channel in the All Your category that lets you vote on what games you want to see me play in the future. And I take any and all suggestions and add them to that ever-growing poll. But you know, the quicker way to get a game is by being a Ko-fi supporter. Let's look at this week's calendar. So as a quick broad overview, we've got Hitman every single day of the week. We've got Death Stranding 2 every single day of the week, as picked by Ko-fi supporters and Discord supporters respectively. And as bonus videos, we've got more Shadow Space going out this Tuesday, our tri-weekly tabletop campaign, some Borderlands with Doodlesar, some Fallout Dead Money continuing, and another episode of Hero Infinite. Yeah, that's the broad overlook. Now let's talk a little bit more about the specifics. Hitman End. We are now, I believe, hang on, I'm looking at my notes to make sure I get this right. Still, sorry, yeah, we are still thoroughly in the, Elusive Target Arcade at this point, trying to dig our way through that wall of content. On the Death Stranding end, there is, a lot of story going on. Man, so I've now built my backlog back up for a while now. All of my episodes or all the news updates were me talking about things I recorded in like the last week. Now these are things I recorded a few weeks ago, and I'm looking and being like, oh, that's right, that's where we are at this point in what's hitting a YouTube end. And yeah. Let's just say some fun stuff is happening in both those games, and some even funner stuff is on the way. And I would like to note on the end of Shadow Space, this week's Shadow Space is a special one. This week's Shadow Space is episode 1 of Shadow Space Deep Space. Shadow Space Deep Space it's continuing the story where it left off more or less, but those who've been watching the series up till now know that we just finished the main story arc the whole series has been in, more or less, up to this point. And we are now pushing into a new story arc as a result. Ooh, hang on. Sorry, music fucked up a little bit. We're pushing into a new story arc, and so for newcomers, this is a perfect introductory point. All you really need to know: sci-fi adventure, distant future, my friends playing a fun group of characters. You know, you'll really figure out everything you need. This first episode is a very down-to-earth one that I tried to set up to establish very quickly where this season of of Shadow Space is going. And I will say that following this, going into next week, we will actually see the return of the Shadow Space bonus episodes. So every week we're gonna have Shadow Space on Tuesday, and the following week, for the foreseeable future, we will have little bonus episodes. So you know, look forward to that. Yeah. I'm excited. You know, if you've been considering getting into the series, now is the time. New clean slate, new spot to hop in. Start watching it now. It's a good time. It's a good time. But anyway, moving on to more of the bonus content. On August 14th, we got some Borderlands with Doodles R, raiding Terrytown, where we go and clean up our own mistakes. For Fallout Fridays with Dead Money, we have Cafe of Broken Dreams, as I'm still trying to explore the outside of the Sierra Madre Casino. And then capping off the week with a Hero Infinite episode that I would love to tell you stuff about, but I actually haven't recorded it yet. That's right, at some point this week, you can watch me stream this week's episode of Hero Infinite. Also this week, you can watch me stream next week's episode of Hero Infinite, because my backlog is built up for everything except Hero Infinite, and I'm going to be trying to put in effort for that, so, you know, in the foreseeable future, expect the possibility of Hero Infinite double features. I had a crazy stack of weeks back-to-back, or a crazy couple of months, really, that made it really hard to keep the Hero Infinite trainer rolling. But... Weird, sorry, I fucking got a crick in my back. Ugh, but yeah, the backlog of that burned out, and now we're building that back up. But yeah, wonderful content coming out this week. Of course, you know, important polls that I think are worth mentioning to everybody, not just Ko-fi supporters. Well, of course, the Discord poll, where I take any and all suggestions of games you'd want to see me play, and they're all added to one master poll that at this point I think has over 100 options on it in the Discord, and whatever's winning in that, I think right now, last time I checked, it was Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door Remake, but whatever's winning will be played after Death Stranding 2. Words. Meanwhile, Hitman, there's a poll going on for the Ko-fi that the fate of Hitman is at stake. This poll is, should Hitman remain daily, or should it become a once-a-week series going up on Wednesdays, turning Wednesdays into World of Assassination Wednesdays? If Hitman wins this vote to stay around, it'll stay... this vote ends in August, and if Hitman wins, we'll keep playing Hitman daily, and that poll will continue into September. And that poll will keep going so long as you all vote that it wants to stay daily, and we will just keep Hitman perpetually as the daily series, as we do freelancer mode, as we do viewer-submitted challenge maps, as we do elusive targets, you know, as we do challenge runs. It will remain as a mainstay series on the channel. If it loses, and it's relegated to once a day, or once a week, it'll only be one episode every week on World of Assassination Wednesdays, and the Ko-fi slot will be taken over by the game that's currently winning the What Game Should I Play Next poll, which the last time I checked was Halo ODST. I think that was it. Halo 3 ODST? Yeah, Halo ODST. So, that poll will determine that. Of course, there's the poll that determines what game I play, and how ODST could still lose that poll if we get a bunch of supporters hop in and vote for, I don't know, Super Lesbian Animal RPG or whatever. That title is so long I can never remember it. Or, Turnip Boy Robs a Bank, or, you know, any of the other numerous things that are up on the poll. Words. Yeah, so, you know, check those out, check out the content coming, and, you know, when you hop to the Discord, check out some of my other content creating friends. My friend Broditis has been doing a Mario Pokemon ROM hack. My friend Mizu is trying to pick up streaming again here and there. They've been a little bit on break, but they're a fun VTuber. They do entertaining content. She's a sweetheart. And my other friends who are content creators are kind of on a indefinite hiatus because of the shittiness of life. Although I will say this to all of you, if I can get enough Ko-fi supporters that I am living stably, I 100% plan to divert some of my extra income towards them so that they can create better content. So by supporting me, not only are you enabling me to do better shit, but in the very long run, you'll be enabling my friends to create amazing content. You might get to see more of Doodles R's amazing art streams, more of Broditis' wonderful voice acting, you know, more of all of them. So, you know, consider supporting me. But yeah, that's been this week's weekly news update. You know, it was a quick one, not a whole lot of craziness going on. Hang on. good enough. Hope you've all been enjoying, and I'll see all you in this week's content. Love you very much, and ta-ta for now.